Hi, I'm Kurt from Kurt's Auto, and it's taken a lot longer than I wanted it to, but my new garage is almost completed. So I'm going to take you through and show you the process of when I started with it. It's not really a step-by-step, but just different clips that I took along the way. And it starts off here with us raising the trusses, where I got a couple people to come out and help me stand these up. And it kind of goes through, and we'll show you the rest of the process throughout building this building.
Just wait.
Ready?
Okay.
Go. Oh, and perfect. Man, it's like... Well, it's Saturday. I've got several new pieces of hatch channel installed on the building, and most of the trusses are all up. I do have to run into town today because my dog needs dog food, and so we're gonna take the Firebird in and run and get some food, come back home, and hopefully by tonight I'll have most of the hatch channel completed. So maybe by tomorrow we can start throwing some sheet metal on it, but the building's definitely coming together. I put my trailer in there to make my ladder a little taller so I can stand on top of the trailer. Not sure how that's working out. It's a little unsafe feeling, but it's so hot out right now that we decided we're just gonna go in and do our grocery shopping. Well, it's Sunday morning. There is a lot of screws in these buildings. That's the only thing I can say. It is very hot weekend. Today it's supposed to be 90, tomorrow's supposed to be 95. I spent all day yesterday putting screws in those rafters around the channel on the roof. When you have to keep going up and down the ladder to mark it, to clamp it, go back up to screw it, you don't get a very lot accomplished, especially when the sun's beating on you. I managed to cut myself up and burn myself all over the place from the metal shavings falling off, so that's not great. Anyway, before the sun comes out and it gets too hot to work, I'm gonna get the next two rails put in, and I will almost have the roof completed. This afternoon I plan to go into town and get my entryway door on this side so that I can figure out exactly where the opening is. We're gonna put an entryway door here, and once I have this done, I can get the back wall done, and then I'll be able to finish the roof. So it's coming together. This is definitely a lot more work than I expected. The truss system seemed to go together pretty good. It took me a day and a half and I had all of them built. Standing them up, they went up really easy. Now that getting everything leveled off, lining everything up and climbing up and down a ladder, this is time consuming. So I think with the temperature, I'm gonna give a goal of next week to have some of the walls and roof on. All of the framing is completely done, and I've laid some of the sheet metal siding out to figure out exactly how I have to do it. The trim they gave me for going around the door is just a flat piece, so I got to make sure that neither side of the door ends up with one of these ridges on it. So I'm going to start on this corner, work my way down with the siding, and once the wall is complete, we can put the roof on, which I will be getting insulation for. Currently I'm not insulating the walls. This is gonna end up being more of a storage garage for the winter because I don't have the money to finance the insulation at this point or the time, and winter's coming pretty fast. So I think for right now we're just gonna worry about getting the roof insulated, and I'm gonna come back in and possibly blow in insulation with the foam, or put fiberglass in later on and then sheet metal the inside too. I haven't decided that, so for right now I just need to get a roof over it so that way I have a place to put all these cars. Well, I'm finally at a point where the building's starting to look like a building. I got my side door mounted in and operational. Obviously doesn't have a door handle yet, and I got the first of the siding on. Obviously I have a lot to do, but it is looking good. Everything's looking nice and flat. Take your eye across the top edge, everything's nice and square. So yeah, won't be long, I'll have walls. And this week I'm getting the rolls of insulation to do the roof. There's a plastic wrapped insulation that goes over the roof to give it a moisture barrier. and it goes over the rafters but under the sheet metal, so I have to have that before I can put the roof on. Well, the garage is pretty much put up, with the exception of I have no roof. I am currently waiting on installation in order to get the roof in. However, I did go and buy the epoxy coat for the floor, so I have to get this all washed out one more time with the acid wash that they give you. And I'm going to be coating the floor here hopefully the next couple of days, and I'm praying that my installation comes in by next week. It was supposed to be in stock. Turns out it wasn't. I went in to buy it. Nobody in the store could find it, so they had to reorder it. So I'm sitting here without a roof, and it's already October. Definitely taken a lot longer than I anticipated, but it's going to be really nice when I finally get it all done and I can actually get all the stuff out of my yard and get some projects put in there for the winter. Well, my installation is finally here, and I'm starting to get the roof on. I got half of it done so far over the last couple of days. Hopefully within the next 2 days I can get the rest of the roof finished so I can start getting my floor coated. It said it didn't want direct sunlight, and then temperature is also an issue for the floor, so I really hope it gets warm enough for me to actually get the floor done. I'm gonna have to think about doing this ever again, because this is a lot of work to do by yourself. These rolls of insulation are pretty heavy and difficult to get on the roof. You can tell where it was nice and a calm day the first couple pieces I put up. It was really windy the last couple days, so it's not as straight, but I am getting there, and hopefully 2 to 3 days from now I have an entire roof and I can actually start using this garage very soon. All right, well, pretty exciting. I have one more piece left of the installation to get put up. I only have 6 more sheets to go on the roof, and then the only thing left on the building will be the outside trimming and the roof cap. I do obviously still need to get a garage door, which is getting ordered this weekend because it's going to take 2 weeks to get. And then I have the garage floor epoxy coat that I plan to try and get on this weekend. It's supposed to get up to, it's been kind of cold. Obviously it's fall. It's taken way longer than it was supposed to. We should have enough good weather for the next 3 days to be able to get the floor epoxy coated with the proper temperature. It's a little bit chillier than I wanted it to be, but it told me not to do it in direct sunlight, so I had to get the roof on, and I've been waiting on the insulation to get the sheet metal on, and it's just been it's taken a lot longer than I expected. It's windy. That much left to go. It's almost on. Well, so this is what I used to do the garage floor. I did the gloss gray and the high gloss clear coat finish. Well, my building is near complete. Still have the outside trim to do. I had an unfortunate accident where I had a ladder knock over in the wind and hit the building because I left it standing like this and it fell over. So that was a mistake. However, I do have an extra panel here that got really dirty from the dust and the rain. So I'm gonna wash this one off and probably replace that panel before I finish putting the trim that seals up the top corner. All right, well, my garage door is finally getting installed. I did beef up the wall and add a whole lot of structure out of wood because this wall was only 2 inches thick and it was pretty flimsy. So I added 2x8s and I studded it with 2x4s because I'm going to insulate this back wall to make it a little bit thicker. That's one thing I didn't like about the building, is the thickness of the walls on the ends aren't very thick for insulating. So I did add structure to the end wall here because this is the north facing wall. Getting back to my garage door, of course, with this building, it's just non-stop setbacks from one thing after another. But we're really getting close and it'll definitely be done before it snows. However, I received the correct number of hinges. However, as you can see, 2 hinge, 2 hinge, 2 hinge, 1 hinge, and this one doesn't fit. This is a number 1 hinge and I need a number 2. Luckily enough, it is a double hinge door, so I can put it all together minus the cross brace, but I'm missing, I have 2 extra number 1s and I'm missing 2 number 2s. So not a huge setback, but it is a problem that I'm gonna have to deal with. And these braces, I think, were for a single hinge door, because what I've had to do is punch out new holes all the way across. Well, not all the way, the center one was reused, but they were offset all the way through, so I had to drill each one of these to get them to actually fit on the door. But the door is going to work very, very soon. Got some more insulation in the corner here. We're going to get the sheet metal. I have I'm hoping to bid on a pallet filled with 100 sheets of the interior sheet metal. If that works out for me within the next week, I should have enough sheet metal to cover the entire inside of the building here, which is already filled with stuff. So I stuffed a whole bunch of shelving in here, which I'm gonna have to take down to put the walls in behind it, but I really didn't think I was gonna have the insulation or the interior this winter. Figured I was just gonna get everything put inside and I'd sort it out when I got in here. So I'm really looking forward to getting this done so I can open the garage door up again and get a couple of these cars pulled back outside and reorganize all of this and get this wall completely finished. I have enough sheet metal to get most of this front wall covered, but I am waiting, like I said, in a week. Hopefully I have enough to get the rest of it done. That way I can get my tire machine and balancer and everything set up in the corner and yeah, clean the cars off, because obviously it was completely filthy when I parked it in here and needed to be washed, but I'm sawdusting right next to the car. Not ideal situation. However, yeah, I couldn't open the door for the last few days. So funny story about that too. I set it all up without any of these cross braces, and I set tension on the springs like I was supposed to, and I wound the first one up 10.5 turns and everything was all good. You could see tension was starting to go on the cables. I came over to this spring, I wound it up 10.5 turns, locked it down, and when I started to let go of the spring, all of a sudden the doors tried shooting up. Not having the weight of all 5 braces going across made the springs be tensioned too tight, so I had to take and unwind them a turn each. So I think they're set at about 9 turns right now, and I got to turn them to 10.5 when it's done. But yeah, that was kind of a scary moment because I was on the ladder, and if you've never done these springs, they're not really fun. They're a bit dangerous. Lots of work. This was definitely not. I had this thought that, oh, I can get this done in no time, a couple weeks. Yeah, no, I was way off on that. Well, pretty big accomplishment. My garage door works, and my hoist is no longer sitting out in the rain. This has been sitting outside since January, well, December. No, yeah, middle of December we were completely out of the building. It's right now just about the middle of November, so But yeah, the next step is going to be get them off the pallets, and I have the thickened slab of concrete right through here. We have a foot of concrete poured. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to offset the 2 posts on that side of the garage, and eventually we'll put a 4 post on this side of the garage. Well, the snow is starting to fly. I can't say I got as far as I wanted to with my whole cleanup effort and finishing the garage, considering I still have all the sheet metal outside on the trailer. And I did manage to get 3 of the 4 cars that I plan to have in here pulled inside. So there's still 1 car that's in a car trailer that I want to swap out and put inside here. So I'll have to make enough room to fit my 1940 Mercury inside the garage. But it's only supposed to be snow flurries. I don't expect it to stick around. But the temperature within the next 10 days is going to be in the 20s for highs. So I'm not looking forward to that. The beginning of December is going to be a much colder December than it was last year when we moved out of the shop. Yeah, you can actually see the light coming through at the top here where I still have to finish sealing. I have the weather stripping up here and the 2x4 starting to get put up, but because I have to work on the outside of the building, yeah, hopefully we don't get a lot of snow because it's not finished, but exciting. There's 3 out of the 4 cars I wanted in here are in here, and I actually took and washed my Firebird and the Sunbird yesterday. The Camaro's still pretty clean. There's a little layer of dust on here that I'm gonna get it all dusted off. And then I'm probably gonna put car covers on them just to keep them as clean as possible, because I'm sure there's still gonna be dust in here. Well, I'm gonna have to cut some wood. But hopefully we get some nicer, warmer days so I can finish up all of that sealing and get all of these pieces put in up here. And then hopefully I'll have enough time to back a couple cars out, drill the holes, and put the hoist up too. Because it'd be nice to have that installed. Because right now it takes up a lot of room, and if I had it installed, I could actually put a car on the lift and one underneath it. And it'd be a little more organized than just having it sitting off to the side. Because I have all the pieces and the pump. And yeah, we're getting close.